Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Bat Like video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a really strong team featuring Kanto, Vulpix, Cottony and Seel. This team worked extremely well for me, and finally I got a team that actually went positive for me. Spoiler alert guys, I went out of 20 matches, I won 12 games, and I was pretty happy with that because, to be honest, over the last couple of days I've probably went maybe like 10 out of 25 most days. A lot of people I've talked to have actually said they've lost about 200-300 elo. Get down in the comments down below, let me know like how much elo you've gained and lost in the little cup here. I feel like it feels like everybody's going negative, and I think a lot of the people who are climbing to legend and stuff like that at the moment are currently playing Master League, so that probably is where it's at, to be honest. But let me know in the comments down below how you're getting on with the little cup. I definitely want you guys to try out this team. In the last couple of videos, I've had a couple of teams that just haven't really worked out that well. I've been showcasing specific Pokemon, but I just haven't really had a good team configuration. This one actually works really well. We've got Cottony in the front, right, and that can deal with basically all of the Mud Boys. It can deal with Seals, it can deal with any of the Dragon types, or like even the Dark types, of course with Charm. And look at Vulpix come in here and just absolutely like free tap the Sanctuary. Vulpix is just absolutely crazy. I think we're going to use like Vulpix as the featured Pokemon in this video, because if you get that lined up correctly, it just goes crazy. And Ember Vulpix is the best counter in the entire league for Bronzor. It has the best matchup. It's Bronzor's worst matchup in this whole league, so that's why I decided to run that. And we've basically got Seel in the safe swap, which can deal with WYNAUT and Bronzor. You might have to invest a shield, but it can deal with them. Of course, it's got the Ice move, which is nice against the Dragon types. And of course it has Aqua Tail, which you can hit things like Sandshrew, and just basically you can hit the whole meta with Seel basically. So this team works really well. Seel is the safe swap. More often than not, you do try to take switch, unless you see that there is something that you don't really need to take switch against. Like for example, like Barboach in the first match, you don't really like 100% need switch. In this match I probably could have shielded up here, but I didn't want to go down both shields, and we do come in with Vulpix here. The opponent's going to come through, and they're going to come in with their Dino, and you're going to see the damage this thing can do. Even this Body Slam, that almost takes it out. I decided to come in and snipe with Cottony, and in the back they have a Bronzor, so this is still going to be tough. I decided to go for the Energy Ball because you do have a small chance of getting a debuff here, and ladies and gents, we actually get it this time, and that's basically going to give us a chance to win this match. Because even though Bronzor, you know, its worst match is Vulpix, like Bronzor can still beat it quite a lot, but we're in the one shield here. I basically either need to farm the whole way down or farm up to the back-to-back here. So this is going to be very, very tough. We do reach the moves a little bit slower with Ember. Can we just about get this farm down? We just about do. So I think the debuff actually came in clutch right there, and good games to the opponent. Guys, by the way, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're getting really close to 1300 now. We just hit 1200 a couple of days ago. The support here has been amazing, and I would love to have you guys along here. I highly recommend subscribing. We've always got fun videos here. And listen, I've been uploading this shittle cup all week. I've been uploading this shittle cup all week, folks. Give me my subscribers right now. If nothing deserves a subscribe, a shittle cup gameplay like literally has to deserve it. I've tanked from like 2450 to like 2100 here this week, but finally we have a team that works, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. Chinchu farms in the Vulpix. We've got a shield and we've got a Cottony, so this is absolutely fine here. I think the opponent like sees the Cottony come through, in comes Vulpix. I actually wanted to run this little Vulpix as well, the Alolan version, so let me know if you guys have run it. I think it would be interesting. We do go on ahead and tank the Dark Pulse like an absolute champion. Seel is a super tanky Pokemon. And today, like, I only ended up spending about 25k dust today, which is a vast improvement from like the 120k plus that I've been spending recently. Because like a lot of these Pokemon, it's like 50 to 75k for the move, plus you might have to power them up like 50k. So Cottony, it's kind of nice because you only need 25 candy plus 10,000 for the move. And I'm just using a bad IV1, like, I'm not really willing to invest much more in this cup. So pretty cheap day, and this is about the worst lead you can possibly get with this Pokemon. So what we decide to do here is kind of stay in for a minute, just farm up a little bit extra. I should have called the Bubble Beam here. I knew it was going to be Bubble Beam bait. I decided to go for the Grass Knot. This will be neutral damage, or is this the Seed Bomb? And then at this point we swap out. The opponent is likely going to Brave Bird and Dip here, but the opponent does, yeah, they do go for it here. They'll come in with their Dino, and we're already a little bit ahead on energy, so that's the amazing thing about Seel. Even with Dino, we can threaten a lot of damage or threaten the knockout with that. I think from full health, it'll do like maybe 80% of their health. Icy Wind just absolutely chunks. We even survive it. Can we? Yes, we do. We actually reach another one. That's actually wild. Seel with like a little bit of an energy advantage. can do really well in that match. But back in comes the birdie, and we kind of have to come in here with this. We farm it down, we're just going to probably instant swap out. In comes Sanctuary, and it just gets free tapped basically out of the match. This Shadow Ember Vulpix just goes crazy. I'm not sure what's actually better for the Bronzor match. I feel like the Shadow probably is better, just because it's doing that little bit extra damage. In comes Cottony and in comes Dino. So very, very good match, and this is exactly why I'm running Cottony in the front. It just deals with so much here. I could have even said that in there I went for a Seed Bomb, but I decided to go into the mirror match. And I did get a Charm Fairy. I might have considered like charming a little bit extra, just to make this a little bit more comfortable, but I think this will come very close. That one charm damage, it really counts for a lot in this matchup. As you can see, we've actually got them slightly lower, but they're slightly outpacing us here. So I might even put up a shield here, try to take switch, because of course I know that we can absolutely wreck that Dino. The opponent does go for a shield, and at this point they're going for another move. I think, okay, Aquatail, I might get a simul KO, or just about take this thing out. Will the opponent double shield this? That's the question. They do go for the double shield, and they take us out. So I'm pretty okay with this at this point. We're just going to charm down, and hopefully, okay, it is a Vulpix. So this is actually fine here. We can get off a body slam on this Dino, which will more or less take it out. And it is going to be a little bit tough here. We might have to go for a catch or something, and the opponent does get to a move. I was like, oh, this is kind of getting very difficult here now. The opponent's coming in with their own Vulpix. They're going to CMP tie us and win CMP. I do not know how I lose CMP with this Vulpix. It's got absolutely terrible IVs. But can we charm this thing? We actually just about reached the Seed Bomb. The opponent should be like maybe 2 embers off a move here. Okay, that was, oh my goodness, that was way too close, bro. They just reached the move, and the charm damage gets applied after 2 turns. So they were just about to throw off the move there. On a Sanctuary lead, you just swap into Seel, and they come in with the Whipper. I was running Vulpix in a different team today, and I went 0 and 5, and I just literally did not see, I was running Shelmet in the front, did not see a single Dino, and kept seeing Whippers literally 5 games in a row. When I was running Sanctuary and Vulpix in the back. But we've got a Whipper here, but Seel can deal with this. The Mud Bombs do a decent amount of damage, as so do Body Slams, but so do Aquatails, and we can actually even survive this move, and hopefully get off a move on the other side as well. Seel is amazing, bro, because if you win switch, you can potentially get off a debuff. In comes Sanctuary, and we're just going to go straight for the Aquatail. This would do a decent amount of damage, because this Sanctuary is so glassy, and the opponent is forced to shield it. So at this point, I'm like, right, this is perfect. We're going to come in and just go for the farm down, but in comes a Ducklet. So this is not over yet here, folks. Now, I'm expecting a bait right here, but they do go straight for the Brave Bird. We come in and go for the full farm down and go for the Body Slam on this thing. Knowing that, you know, at this point, I think the Sanctuary has like a move or two. The opponent does reach a Bubble Beam. I cannot shield this, guys, unfortunately, because I think the Sanctuary built up to maybe like close to 2 moves. They do go for the first one. Can we actually get off another Ember in time? Yeah, they already have the back-to-back, folks, so it literally came down to one move. So GG's the opponent. That is a rough one there, and I'm not sure how I could have played that any better, honestly. In comes Cottony versus Sanctuary. It feels like these matches can just get flipped by 1 turn so quickly. That's what I kind of don't like about this cup. There's not really a lot of wiggle room. In Great League, you know, even though it's got a really stale meta, with like Noctiles, Lanterns, all that sort of stuff, you can like wiggle around, dance around, and try to outplay the opponents. In this cup, you can't really outplay people as much. That's why I'm not a big fan of the shithole cup. But we're gonna go for an Icy Wind here. Again, I think we might be able to win this match. We've got them into the red first here, and I'm willing to take switch here. Like I said, taking switch with this team is pretty huge, because Cottony basically deals with anything that's not Bronzor, and Vulpix will deal with it. And of course it deals with a lot of the other Pokemon just because of the raw damage it puts out. In comes their Whipper, and I'm really glad I invested the shield, because we're getting off a move on this thing, which the opponent does shield. Whipper is pretty glassy. Can we even get off another? We actually almost get off another move. We're going to come in with Cottony here. I do not need to shield anything. Body Slam does Mud Bomb, that's interesting. Body Slam does a lot of damage, but we're just going to absolutely rip this thing to shreds. We're going to maybe, yeah, there's no point shielding this. We might even get off a Body Slam now. So that just absolutely one-shots, and I think the opponent might just be running one move here, potentially. Oh, they're actually running Body Slam. Interesting, so I guess they didn't realize it was resisted. And you guys are about to see this get quite close here. Whipper is a bit of a tank, like that Body Slam done like half of my remaining health, but we were able to come into the farm down, and yeah, just go for it. I think even throwing the move with Vulpix there was not the correct play. Knowing that they had 2 shields, I could have just like tried to get as much damage off as possible because I think they were getting pretty close to another move. In comes Bronzor. This is a good lead because we can just swap out to one of our back 2 and basically draw something out. The opponent goes for the move here. I should have tried to maybe get the Icy Wind off first. I decide to shield it, and the opponent's actually staying in here. So if I just Icy Wind debuff this thing like crazy, we can win this match. In comes Shelmet, and the timers are misaligned, and I think this is the match where I make a big mistake here. We'll have a look. So in comes Shelmet. I think maybe what I should try to do here potentially is try to shield this again and win it. But I think I might let the next move go. Do I shield this? Let's have a look. Okay, so I either need to let that go or just stay in there with Seel. But what I decide to do is come in with Vulpix. This is a terrible play because this is like my only answer left for Bronzor. So I just definitely wasn't thinking straight. If anything, come in with Cottony because it's pretty much dead weight, and the opponent has a WYNAUT as well. So the opponent's running a very very original team here. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I still played this out because I thought, you never know what might happen here. The clock might come up, but yeah, I just can't quite get off the swap out in time. But I think even in that case, like the opponent, they still have a shield left, and yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do. I'm thinking like, can I farm this the whole way down, get off an energy ball, get a debuff, maybe get off another move on the Cottony, and then maybe like it down or something. But I don't think that's gonna happen here, folks. You do reach these moves very slowly, and I think the opponent might shield this one up, but it wouldn't even do that much damage, like 20% health or something on them. It's not really going to be enough here. So that just goes to show you guys, like, if you do see a Bronzor in the lead, you definitely like let anything else go down except for Vulpix, basically. Especially like if you're in the Seel matchup already, you need to keep one of them 2 Pokemon healthy. Just a bad misplay by me and a lapse of concentration for sure, but you live and you learn, folks. I'll probably run this team for the remainder of this cup. I'm not sure how much more content I'm going to make on this. Sentry lead, you swap into the Seel straight away. When I was running Bronzor on the lead yesterday, I was just getting a ton of dark leads, but looks like the dark leads have dried up a little bit here, and we're just getting Sentry leads now, so you hate to see it, folks, you hate to see it. The Seel comes in here, and yeah, I don't think I can quite take this one, so at this point I'm happy enough just to let this go down. But yeah, that's the amazing thing, like I said, about Cottony. Like I said, the dark types were definitely drying up. I was not seeing any dinos. I think yesterday I was running a Bronzor lead. No joke, guys, 5 games in a row, a dino. Like, and whenever I'm running Cottony in the lead, I don't get it. It's just, it's unfortunate, folks. It is very unfortunate. We can come in here, go for farm down, and we'll see what the opponent wants to do. But the good thing is, like, even if you don't get a good lead with this team, this actually works quite well as an ABB team. That's why I do like it. We swap straight out, and the opponent stays in here. So I'm thinking they've got a Sentry in the back. So we'll see what the opponent does. They go for a shield, and we do win this in the 2 shield, guys. We can even come up with some energy as well. Yeah, so Side Shot comes through. We can actually even over farm just a little bit, and we're going to go for another shield here, and we're just going to basically look to fire off the back-to-back moves here if the opponent decides to shield, which they probably will here. Yep, they do shield. We'll throw off okay, we actually go for the full farm down, and then go for the move, so that was perfect. The opponent wasn't going to just quite reach a move. It takes them 15 tackles to reach a move. If it's Eye Shock, 17 for the Heavy Slam if they're running Heavy Slam, and 20 tackles for the payback. Once again, Sentry lead, we're swapping straight out, the opponent comes into a Seel, but we're ahead now, and we can definitely win this match. Whoever gets the debuff off first wins this match, basically, so we're going to get that off. We've got the opponent very, very low here as well, which is beautiful, and yeah, they must not have like the greatest IVs on this thing or something. We're definitely outpacing even before the Icy Wind. So we're going to fire for another one here, and once you land the second Icy Wind, you can basically just go for Aqua Tail. The opponent can go for an Icy Wind here, but there's no way they can really take the switch back. I could maybe even just go for the full farm down. I did not want to let them reach a move. I know that they were like 1 or 2 licks behind me, so I'm just not trying to risk it and let them get off a move. We can't get off a move on the Sentry, but as you're about to see, we're just going to absolutely light this up, and in comes a Vulpix. We're ahead on energy, and we win this match, basically. Now, this can be a little bit tricky, because the opponent does have a bit of energy in the Sentry, so we're actually ahead by 1 Ember here, so we need to just keep that in mind. I can reach another Body Slam. We'll get the shield first. We could either go for the farm down here, or throw one and then swap. So we decide to swap, knowing it will just be a Body Slam, and at this point we can just farm it down. We're going to take a decent amount of damage off this thing, as you can see, but we can charm down. In comes the Sentry, and they're basically going to farm us the whole way down, but we do have a shield here, and yeah, we can just basically one tap it out of here. If it's the Shadow Sandshrew, you can basically like 3 or 4 tap it out. It is a crazy amount of damage here, but I really enjoyed this team, guys. I highly do recommend trying it out. Like I said, I don't always say that in my videos. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, I said, look, this Pokemon's good, but the team that I'm running with this is not quite working. In today's video, I actually do recommend this team, and that's, you know, I do like being honest in these videos. If I'm having a bad experience or a good experience, I'll let you know either way. And once again, we get another Sandshrew lead. Like, what are these Sandshrew leads, bro? But like I said, that's fine. We can just swap out, we can pivot, and that's what's good about this team. Like I said, you know, you have some sort of options. Now we get off the move first, so we get the debuff off first. I'm going to shield up this one here, and I can potentially let the next one go. Once I get off another debuff. If you're like stuck in this matchup, you know, always shielding the first one's better because the opponent actually shields that, which is not correct. I think they might have thought it was an Aqua Tail, or they're just trying to take a switch. But as you can see, they're double debuff now, and we can probably even eat another Psyshock. I go for another Icy Wind. I probably should have went Aqua Tail at this point. So if you get it down to that low health, definitely just go Aqua Tail. I think I can survive this, so I decide to go for it. But this is getting awfully close, and we even come out of here with a move, which is amazing. Back in comes Sandshrew. They have to shield this because it will do a decent amount of damage, and they do. So they're basically down on shields, and in comes Vulpix to go for the farm down, and in comes Wooper. We'll come in with the Charm Boy. This Body Slam, as you've seen earlier, it does a decent amount of damage, but they actually must have better IVs in this one because it's not doing quite as much, and we have actually pretty poor IVs on our Cottony. I feel like if you're using a Charmer, IVs are not as important because you want to get off as much damage as possible, right? So with Cottony, it's already quite bulky, so like if you don't want to invest, you know, like 50 or 60k into it plus the move, you know, you can just use a crappy IV one, honestly, especially in this little cup. The charms will add up, and of course it'll hurt you in certain situations, but I was perfectly satisfied with this. And we go 3-2 in that set, so we went 4-1 first set. I went 2 out of 5 in the second set, so basically 5 for 5, and then we go 3-2 in this one here. So definitely just a lot better than it has been recently. In comes a WYNAUT lead. This is one I didn't really know what to do with. I sort of know that Seel is my best option for it, but I wasn't quite sure what I should do here. By the looks of things, like, you know, the fast move damage is working out. We'll see how much the Seed Bomb does. I'm not sure if I should commit to the Energy Ball here. So it looks pretty even. Looks like we're just about edging it, but I sort of would not mind keeping my Cottony around, just in case there is a dragon in the back, because we can just tap through that thing like crazy. So I decide, okay, I'm not going to take any more damage on this thing. I am just going to Seed Bomb this out of here, and maybe just go for, okay, actually we stay in here for a minute because it is Ducklet. I wanted to get off that extra damage. I maybe could have went straight into Seel, and I decided to call a Brave Bird here. It is an Aurelius, or sorry, they only build up to like 6 there, so it is an Aurelius. So this opponent here is running this differently. Aurelius Bubble Beam, which actually might not be the worst idea. I do sort of want to get this out of here because it would be a problem for Vulpix, but I don't want to shield up. I just swap into Vulpix because it's like, what else am I going to do? I decided to let this Mud Bomb go, and yeah. So that was kind of tough. I'm not sure what I was really supposed to do with that lead, to be perfectly honest with you. I could have maybe just swapped straight into Seel, but then they had Vulpix and Mudboy in the back. So like the Mudboy would have pretty much almost took out. I think that was tough, and I think the opponent does not realize that Bronzor exists in this cup because they're running triple weak to Bronzor basically in that team. Like the Mudboy can like put in damage, of course. We do go for a nice catch here as well, because again, you do sort of want to keep your Cottony live where possible, because there are a lot of things that are weak to it. Basically anything that's not Bronzor you can pretty much beat. Like Bronzor, Ducklet, and Vulpix are like your free main issues, but you can pretty much beat everything else in the whole cup with Cottony, like for the most part. Or, you know, at the very least, it'll be very close. We do get off an Aqua Tail here. But that last team was wild. Like, literally imagine a Bronzor lead in that team. What are you going to do? Like, what are you actually going to do if you get a Bronzor team, Bronzor lead? You're just going to top left, basically. Swap into your Mudboy and then get countered by something, like GG's. I was a little bit salty about that. It's like, bro, these teams I'm seeing is actually wild. Like, the teams I've seen in the last couple of days are actually wild. Like, how they play against my teams. Like, it's been really annoying me a lot, actually. That's just why I don't like this cup, because again, like, there's just people can run these terrible teams and somehow get away with it, just because of, you know, the lack of flexibility. But in comes their Sandshrew, and speaking of lack of flexibility, this thing cannot do anything against my Vulpix. I do go for a catch here because I don't want to get my Vulpix taken out, and we do actually reach a Seed Bomb anyway. So even if we did let the Vulpix go down, we probably would have just won that anyway, but I was just absolutely making sure. The opponent was basically forced to first straight away there, so a perfect opportunity for a catch. And yeah, let's go into this next one. Guys, this might be my last Little Cup team here. I will likely run this team in the background and just try to gain back a little bit of elo. Is this the Ducklet match here? Let's see what we can do against this one. So the opponent is probably going to try to farm up to a Brave Bird. I just sort of think like, oh, it's a Bubble Beam, rip. So they're on like a couple of fast moves. This is rough already. In comes a Weeper though, so I might be able to take this one out. But yeah, that's kind of tough already. I did win a match against the Ducklet lead. I'm not sure if it's included in this video, because I did cut a few bits out. If it's not in this video, I'll probably just look for it and like just tack it on to the end, because I want to show you guys that it is possible to beat a Ducklet lead with this team. But yeah, in comes the Mud Bomb, and we can just about lick this thing down. So that's basically best case scenario right there. I just go straight for the Aqua Tail, because I think they're going to wing attack down, and I hard pivot into my Vulpix. This is going to be a Bubble Beam. I know I can eat this, but it's not very comfortable, and in comes Bronzor. So yeah, maybe this was not the greatest. Maybe could have just went in with my Cottony. Definitely a bit of a misplay by me there, I think. Like I said, you know, I've learned from my experiences here today, like, do not swap Vulpix into anything that's not Bronzor or Sandshrew, basically. You sort of do need to keep it, and I'm in that sort of situation again where it's like, okay, well, you know, both of my counters are burned here, so there's not really a whole lot I can do. The opponent goes for Heavy Slam as well, so it's like, okay, you just hit me, like, you know, they're just running the anti-Cottony team here. So GG's to the opponent here. They're going to be able to take this one, but you know, I did try to go for some sort of a catch or whatever, and then just top left. But no, it is definitely possible to beat teams like that if you don't misplay like I do. I think, you know, with Ducklet, if you just like draw it the whole way into the 2-shield, and if you call a bait, maybe you can probably win that match. So it is very dependent on, you know, baiting and a few different things, like Cottony is tanky enough, and the opponent has a Cottony of their own, so I'm like, right, okay. Right, okay, hello Cottony. They're actually outpacing me here, so I'm like, right, I might as well throw off a move. They're probably going to charm me down first. So I'll just throw off a move here, at the very least, you know, get a shield off them. The opponent should be able to move here, but maybe they're only running one move, or maybe like they just couldn't get it off for some reason. In comes a Bronzor, and I'm like, haha, Bronzor, so you have a Sandshrew in the back, do you, buddy? Coming in with Bronzor against my Vulpix. So I'm like, right, we're double shielding this. We're gonna build up to the back-to-back, just fire them both off here. I should be in a pretty comfortable spot here, and you know, like I said, guys, Vulpix has done really well with his team. We're about to fire off the second Valor Ball here, and yeah, these Bronzors just cannot stand a chance. We go for the catch just in case, but the opponent does go ahead and top left. Guys, hope you enjoyed this. Definitely try out this team. And if you haven't already, man, quickly subscribe, drop a like on the videos. It helps out an absolute ton. And of course, you'll get videos that you do enjoy every day if you do subscribe. And we do have a Discord community. Feel free to join. There will be a link in the description down below. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you all next time.